We were actually discussing about the block diagram reduction rules. So let us see what is the second rule, which is moving a summing point after the block. So this is your summing point, and generally I have taken plus or minus. Okay, so that's why two signals x1 and x2, they are either added or subtracted. This is your input to this block, that is having the transfer function or the gain capital G. So what is the output? Output is gain times the input. You know already what is gain is equal to output by input. So if you want output, you have to multiply gain and the input. So output is gain times input. So it is G into x1 plus or minus x2. Okay, so now how I can shift or move this summing point after the block, and what changes occur inside the block? Let's see. This is your x1 as it is I have drawn. There is a G, and this summing point I have moved after the block. So the summing point is after the block somewhere here. So if the block is moved here, then what you need to do is you have to take this second signal. It will also be passed through a block which is having the transfer function G. That is the change. Try to understand what difference is there in between the original diagram and the equivalent diagram. Here the summer or the summing point is before this block. Here the summing point is after the block. Okay, so before the block I am taking the signals x1 and x2 plain. That's it. Okay, there is no other blocks in between. Directly two signals are given to the summing point. But if you shift it after the block, first signal is also passed through the gain, the block. Second signal is also passed through this gain block, and then they are added. So what is the output of the first block? You check x1 into G, and the second block x2 into G. If you just add or subtract these two, G is common in between, so I have taken G outside. X1 plus or minus x2, which is same as that of the original diagram. So what changes I have to make? Instead of simply adding these 2 points, x1 and x2 signals at summing point, x1 is also passed through a gain block, x2 is also passed through the gain block, then they are added. That is the difference. Okay, if you come across something like this in your block diagram while reducing, in your problems, you can move this summing point after the block according to the convenience, according to the requirement. So block diagram reduction, it may be, it may not be same everywhere. If some 4 to 5 students are solving one single problem, there may be many ways that they attempt. So there may be 5 different solutions. Okay, so you may get different answers because the way one student thinks to apply these rules may be different from the other student. So as and when required feasibility, you can use these rules in order to reduce the block. Okay, whichever possible rule that fits while solving the problem, that you can use. Now coming to the third rule, which is moving the summing point ahead of the block. In the sense ये जो block है आपका, this block से before, okay, reverse. यहाँ पे summing point आपने after the block shift किया था. Now it is already after the block. You have to move before the block. Okay, ahead of the block. So here let's see what are the things. You have input x1 which is passed through this block. Output is x1 into G, and you have one more signal x2. Okay, these two are added or subtracted, whatever. So you're getting this as your final output. So remember, your summing point is after this block. Your summing point is after the block. Now if I want to shift this before the block, what changes I have to make? Let's see. Simply I'm changing this, I'm just shifting this here. So x1, and I have shifted the block, shifted the summing point. So after this there is a G, you can see. Let me just show you clearly. You have x1, you have x1 in both. Earlier, the summing point was after the block. Now I have shifted it here, somewhere here. So before the block, I will shift. After that, I have a block with gain G. So this gain I have added this block, and after that, this x2, it is added to this summing point. But where is our summing point? It is before. So when I'm adding x2, what I should do? It should not be directly connected to the summing point, but it should be passed through a block which is having the gain 1 by g. यहाँ पर जो भी gain present रहेगा उसका reciprocal आपको लेना है. Then you have to connect the output of this to the summer, the summing point. Or the difference between them is, very first thing, this is after the block, the summing point. Here I have shifted before the block. Here x2 signal is directly connected, directly pointed to the summing point. Here, instead of that, x2 is passed through this block. So let's see whether we get the same answers or not in both the diagrams. In the first diagram, you can observe you have the input x1, g is the gain. So your output is gain times the input. So x1 into g. So this is one input and this is other input. So simply either add or subtract. x1 g plus or minus x2. ये आपका final output है in the original diagram. So let's see what happens here. x1 is the input to the summing point. Okay, and x2 is not directly connected, but it is the reciprocal of this gain. So 1 by g. What is the output here? It is gain times the input. So gain is 1 by g into x2. So x2 by g is your output. This is connected to the summing point. So add these two, this signal and this signal, you add both, you will get x1 plus or minus x2 by g. Okay, so this signal is passed through the block with the transfer function g. So what is the output here? The final output, it is gain times the input. So what is gain? It is g. And what is the input you are passing? x1 plus or minus x2 into g. x1, here I have written it, g into x1 plus or minus x2 by g. So you can solve this, multiply, g x1 will be the first term, plus or minus g, and this denominator g gets cancelled, you will be left with x2. So compare this and your output which you got in the original diagram. So both are same, x1g plus or minus x2, x1g plus or minus x2. So if you see both the final outputs, you got the same. That's why when you shift a summing point before the block, don't directly connect the second input. Instead, pass it through a block जिसका gain value reciprocal होगा original gain से. Okay, this is the change you have to make. So this is your third rule for block diagram reduction. Now coming to the next, moving a takeoff point after a block. So what is a takeoff point? This common point where the signals are meeting or signals are getting diverted. You have even studied in your network theory some node analysis you have done, right? Those nodes, the points where the current divides. So we can take such points as the takeoff points. Okay, they call, the term is takeoff point. Yeah? So the rule is we can shift this takeoff point either before or after. So this fourth rule is after the block. If you observe the original diagram, the takeoff point is just before the block. Okay, now I can shift it after the block. Let's see how. Original block, you have the inputs x1 and x2. Okay, it's not, x2 is not the input actually, because if you see the direction, it is splitting here. Okay, so I can't take x2 as the input. From this point, it is getting diverted. So x1 is the input for this block. No doubt some takeoff, from the takeoff point, it is getting split into some other direction. Okay, so here For gain, x1, for this gain block, x1 is the input. So what is the output? It is x1 into g. So let's see, if I shift this takeoff point after the block, see, I have the input x1, there is a block with a gain g, and I'm shifting the takeoff point after the block. Okay, so if I shift it after the block, what I should change here? Directly the signal, from the takeoff point, I'm taking one signal. Here I can't do that. When I shift the takeoff point, I have to pass this through a block which is having the reciprocal of this original gain. Okay, and then I can take out. So what is the difference between these two lines, these two figures? यहाँ पर takeoff point से directly we have taken the signal out. Okay, but here I can't take it directly. I have to pass it through one more block which is having the gain value reciprocal of the original gain. Okay, now you can see, observe the second figure. Second figure में आप देख सकते हो what is the output you get. x1 is the input, this is the gain, output is x1 into g. So in both the cases, however, you will get the output as x1 into g. So both are equivalent figures. Now coming to the next rule, moving a takeoff point ahead of the block. You can see the original figure, यहाँ पे takeoff point block के बाद में है. Okay, it is after the block. Now if I want to move it before the block, okay, what changes I should make? You can observe there is x1 into g. Okay, so I am taking x1 into g. From this takeoff point, I am taking the signal out, but here the takeoff point is before. Okay, if I take this before, I have to pass this through a block which is having the same gain as that of the original block gain. ये दोनों का gain same होना चाहिए. From this I can take the takeoff point. So here you can see takeoff point directly लेके signal, we have taken the point. From this one signal is coming out, x1 into g. Here I can't do that. It has to be passed through gain block g, and this g and your original gain both should match. They both should be same. Then only final output you will get it as x1 into g. If you can observe both the outputs, see, from the x1 it is going to the block g, output is the x1 into g, the same x1 of x1 into g. From the takeoff point I am taking the signal. Observe here the equivalent diagram. There is x1 input with the gain g, output is x1 into g. From the takeoff point, okay, when I take the signal, actual signal is x1, right? Here it is x1, but I want x1 into g. That's why I multiply it with g, so that x1 of g I will get in both the cases. Okay, so this is the fifth rule about the takeoff point moving either after or ahead of the block. And finally, the last one, eliminating a feedback loop. I think this is the most frequently used rule. Even we have done this already in your previous concept when we were dealing with finding the transfer function for a closed loop negative feedback system. Observe, we have x1 as the input and x2 as your output. In the earlier concept, we had taken r of s as the input, c of s as the output. Okay, so at this summing point, in general I have taken plus or minus, so that ये जो भी हमने feedback लिया है, because I need to find a loop first. Feedback loop पहले form करना पड़ेगा. So original figure you just check. Output, the input x1, it is added with the feedback signal, and both these, this is nothing but your error signal. This will be passed through this block, that is forward path gain g, so that you will get the output, and this output, it is again fed back. Fine, so this is a closed loop. So how will you eliminate this loop? How will you remove this loop? If you remove this loop, already we have found the transfer function, if you remember. Shall I just share this slide with you? Yes, here we have found the transfer function g divided by 1 plus g into h. Here it is plus because it is negative feedback, but in our case we have taken plus or minus. So let us stick to that. Okay, so let us stick to that because I have taken in this summing point the general notation plus or minus. So according to that, what will be the transfer function for this feedback loop? The system, I can reduce it to a single block. Okay, ये जो भी आपका complete loop है, इसको I can replace it with a single block, and inside this block I should fill with the transfer function. So what is the transfer function? Forward path gain, that is G, numerator में आएगा, divided by 1 plus or minus, because I don't know whether it is positive feedback or negative feedback, G into H, forward gain and the feedback gain, G into H. So this is how the sixth rule, that is the elimination of feedback loop, how we can take the block. So we have discussed 6 different block diagram reduction rules. What are those? Just let us summarize. Very first thing is a cascade. If they are connected in series, just multiply them. One more thing is you can just add as a parallel also. If they are connected in parallel, just take the addition. Then moving the summing point ahead of the block and after the block. So 2 rules we have seen here for summing point movement. Either it should be before the block or after the block. If it is after the block, okay, here it is originally it is before. If I shift it to the after, I have to take the signal should be passed through one more block. I can't directly take the summation. I should pass the signal through a block of gain, same as that of this gain. And moving a summing point ahead of the block. That is, अगर original figure में block diagram में जो summing point है, this is after the block. So if I want to shift it before the block, I cannot pass this signal directly to the summing point, but and in case of the summing point ahead of the block, just now as I told you, the signal should be passed through a block whose gain is a reciprocal of the original gain. Then moving the takeoff point after the block and before the block. After the block, it is same, it is a reverse. आप यहाँ पे जो समिंग पॉइंट में किए हैं उसका आपको उल्टा करना पड़ेगा. आफ्टर एंड अहेड जो बिफोर हैं यहाँ पे एक्सचेंज हो जाएंगे. यू कैन सी इफ इट इज आफ्टर द ब्लॉक, the signal same I have taken from this. Here the takeoff from the takeoff point, I can't take directly the signal. It should be passed through a block which is having the gain a reciprocal of the original. Then coming to the next, that is taking moving the takeoff point ahead of the block. So it is reverse. What I should do here? From the takeoff point, directly I am taking the signal here, but when I shift it, I can't directly take the signal because here the signal is x1 into g. But if I take it from this, it is simply x1. So I have to multiply it with g. So that's why I have to pass it through a block which is having the gain g. Then the last one is elimination of the feedback loop. So totally 6 rules we have seen in this feedback, block diagram reduction rules. Okay. These are some theoretical concepts, okay, like I'm just giving you the rules, what are the different rules, but however as and when you get the problems, when you apply them, you know, you'll become perfect in these rules, remember. So but as for now, please make sure that you're thorough with these rules. One simple problem I have taken. reduce this block diagram and find the transfer function. So ultimately, why we are going for reduction of the block diagram? Because we want a transfer function for the given system. Let me not continue the more problems on block diagrams as for now. Just for as an example, I have taken this problem. Let me cover the signal flow graph theory also, because both these topics are related. For every block diagram problem, I have to extend the problem to find the signal flow graph also. So instead of doing one problem 2 times, what we can do, let us complete the theoretical part of block diagram and signal flow graph together. Then while taking the problems, let us solve both together. Okay, it will reduce our time also. So this one example I have taken just as a sample to show you how we can reduce the block. It is a very simple kind of problem. Not many rules are applicable. Very simple problem. You can see you have an input, some summing points are there. Okay, and the takeoff points are also there. You can see, but there is one takeoff point, and there is one more takeoff point. So 2 takeoff points are there, 3 summing points are there. You can see here G1 and G4, they are connected in series. G3 and G2 are connected in parallel. So I have to reduce the block diagram and I have to ultimately find the transfer function. So it means how I can do this? Input will be R of S, and this is R of S, this is your C of S. In between, whatever elements I have connected here, I should replace this with one single block. Okay, and inside this block, what I should write? I should find the transfer function T and write it inside that box. Okay, so let us proceed. How to solve this? Original figure. Understand what all things are there inside, what you can do, how I can start. Okay, the very simplest thing is, as you can see, I have encircled these 2 things you can do at once. Okay, so I have written here G1 and G4 are in series, so multiply. G3 and G2 are connected in parallel, so add them. What I have done, R of S as it is, adder as it is, this is also summing point as it is. Instead of this G1 and G4, I have taken one single block, G1 into G4. Then there is a takeoff point, the takeoff point as it is. After this parallel G2 and G3, I have taken one single block. Okay, and after that, since this adder or the summing point, it is for these 2, but already I have covered it here, plus. Okay, they have added. Okay, because of that, that is eliminated here. I should not use it here because already that part is over. Both are plus, G2 and G3. I have added them, and there is a takeoff point. Okay, so this is one reduction, and H1 and H2 as it is I have written. See, there is H1, there is H2 as it is. How they have connected? From this takeoff point there is H1. So from this takeoff point there is H1. From the last takeoff point there is H2. From the last takeoff point there is H2. Okay, remaining connections are all same. Now further what I can do, what I can simplify, you can just try it with I have encircled here. There is a feedback loop here. You can see, you can observe. No further simplification, because if I don't remove this, I can't take one block series with this. Okay, before that I have to go for the solution of this loop only. So if I solve this loop, how to eliminate the loop? And one more thing, no sign is given here. So let me take this as a positive feedback. Okay, you can take negative also. Just an example, I am taking it as positive. So R of S as it is, adder as it is. This is your feedback loop. So feedback loop, it is replaced by a single block, and in the single block, I have to write the transfer function. What is the transfer function? Numerator is having the forward path gain divided by 1 minus, because positive feedback loop hai, so I have taken negative. 1 minus forward path gain into feedback path gain, G1, G4, H1. G1, G4, H1. So this is your transfer function, one single block. And as it is remaining blocks, there is a takeoff point, C of S as it is. And there is H2 from this takeoff point. So from this H2, there is a takeoff point. Okay. Now further, what I can reduce? We can observe this block and this block. Both blocks are connected in series. Hence, you have to multiply both. So in the next step, remaining all as it is, C of S. These two which are connected in series, I have taken them multiplication. So G3 plus G4 into this complete G1 G4 divided by 1 minus G1 G4 H1. Okay, and finally the takeoff point is here. Further, you can see this is one feedback system, feedback loop. Again, no sign is given to you here in the question also. You can see I have not added. You can take plus. Okay, so if you take plus, you'll get negative, minus in the formula. So this is your one more feedback. So if I take the feedback, how I should write? R of S is your input, C of S is your output. One single block will be the transfer function of this system. Transfer function will be numerator mein kya hoga? Forward path transfer function. This complete whatever block G1 G4 into G3 plus G2 divided by 1 minus G1 G4 GH. ये complete जो है, this is your forward path gain. That will be in the numerator divided by 1 minus forward path gain multiplied by feedback path gain. Forward path gain जो भी आपका numerator में है, you write it as it is completely multiplied by feedback path gain H2. So this is how you have reduced the block diagram. Only two rules we have applied basically. One is a series or parallel and of elimination of the feedback. No other rules we have applied here. So whatever inside this box I have written, this is your transfer function. Okay, so this is how we have taken one sample, one example, and we have reduced the block diagram. Hope you have understood this. Any doubts in this, please you can ask me, you can let me know. Put it in the chat box. I can explain you one more time. Please be thorough with the rules. And the problems, you'll be perfect by practice. Coming to the next, that is signal flow graphs. I'll just give you the introduction. What are these signal flow graphs? And then we can continue. Whatever block diagrams we have, just now seen, closed loop system, we have seen how to find the transfer function. For a multiple input, multiple output, how to find the transfer function we have seen. And one simple example we have taken, how to reduce the block diagram. Okay. So what is the necessity of signal flow graphs? That is the important question. The block diagrams, they are very successful for representing the control systems. No doubt about it, because it will make your work simpler. आपको actual physical system को जाके analysis करने से उसका same जो भी है, आप उसको block diagram, उसका functioning जो भी process है, you can represent in the form of a block diagram, and analysis and modeling will become much easier. That's why they are very successful in representing the control systems. However, they are very much complicated. For complicated systems, ये जो हम reduce कर रहे हैं, एक तो पहले हमने बहुत simple example लिया है. For that, but however, if the systems, if the given block diagram has many interconnections, many summing points, many takeoff points, the task, the reduction process, it can be a cumbersome. It can be tedious process and time consuming. That is one disadvantage with the block diagram. Okay, the process is tedious while we go for block diagram reduction. So that's why an alternate approach for this is a signal flow graph. Okay, this is developed by S.J. Masson. That's why you will come across in further concepts called Masson's formula in order to find the transfer function. It is the simplest method to find the transfer function. Okay, so this Masson, he has developed these signal flow graphs which doesn't require any reduction process. So tedious task, it can be avoided ब्लॉक डायग्राम में जो हम रिडक्शन कर रहे हैं, that can be avoided in this signal flow graphs in order to obtain the transfer function. Because of why it is easy, because of the availability of the flow graph gain formula, Mason's gain formula, what we call it. Directly we can find the transfer function, no need of reduction. Okay. A signal flow graph is a graphical representation of relationships between the variables in terms of set of linear equations. Okay, you will understand this once I go to the next concept, the meaning of this. The relationship between the variables in terms of set of equations. अगर आपको equations देंगे, okay, what are the relations, how input and output or some different variables which are there in the system, how they are related. If you know those equations, you can easily draw the signal flow graph. So a signal flow graph consists of a network in which nodes represent each of the system variables. Nodes here also, just like your mechanical systems, when we were dealing with the mechanical systems, electromechanical systems, nodes were the displacements, right? So theta or x were indicating your nodes. So here, what these nodes represent in signal flow graph, nodes represent system variables. For example, if I have a system x input, okay, see यहाँ पर transfer function है, say g is the gain of the system and y is your output. So what node indicates? So node, it is indicating the system variables. So यहाँ पर variables कौन से हैं? X and Y. So simply put a point and write X. This indicates a node. Put Y and a point. So this is your X and Y, two nodes indicating the system variable. And they are connected by the directed branches. तो यहाँ पर तो ब्लॉक में आपको this transfer function G is there. Okay. So instead of drawing this block, I have to draw and connect it with a branch. We call these lines as branches. Okay. The directed branches, they have associated branch gains. As I told you, यहाँ पर value क्या है? It is G, and X is the input, output is Y. So what I can do, from this X towards Y, I can draw an arrow, and here I can write G. G in the sense it is the gain. Okay, this whatever block is there, that for this block I have drawn the signal flow graph. That's it. जो भी variables हैं उसको node से represent कर लो, जो भी आपके blocks हैं उनको branches से represent कर लो, and each branch जो भी lines आएंगे, these branches will be having the associated gains. Okay. A signal can be transmitted through a branch only in the direction of arrows. That's what I said. Yet through from the X towards Y, the arrow is indicated. If you see the block also, X is the input, Y is the output. So arrowhead indicates the signal flow. There are some terms involved in the signal flow graph. You should know these terms. Then only it is possible for you to proceed further. Okay, we will look into these terms. These two things you can see, a signal flow graph, it is represented by the set of equations. I told you, if this is your block, simple block hai, input X, output Y, G is the gain, and all are in Laplace transforms. I can just simply write X and Y with two dots, and they are connected by a branch with the multiplication of gain G. Okay, signal flows from one node to the another node. Direction of the arrow indicates flow of the signal from input to output. So this direction is indicating towards which the information is flowing, towards which, from what is the source and what is the destination. This arrow is indicated by that. Okay, and the lines are nothing but the branch. So this is about the basics of the signal flow graph. Now we have to look into some of the terminologies. Okay, what we use in case of signal flow graphs. Okay, we will look into these terminologies and some of the rules to for these signal flow graphs in the next session.